Hello and welcome to HPA Global Insights, where we'll be interviewing experts from the dietary supplement, nutritional ingredient, and overall natural health food industry. Please like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell, and comment below. Now on with the show. Hello and welcome. We're here again with my good friend Deepak Jaswal. We're talking about the GCC Middle East region for dietary supplements. This is a three-part series. We talked about, in part one, we talked about the general market itself. Part two, we covered a little bit about the regulatory situation in the region. And now we're going to talk about today distribution channels, where you can actually sell this stuff once you get it in the market. So if you've missed those first two episodes, make sure you go back and grab those, and let's kick off the distribution channel. So welcome again, Deepak, how are you?
Fine, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, so now that we've talked about the market itself, and then we've talked a little bit about the regulatory situation, the next part would be, of course, how do we actually sell our products once they're approved? And so I'll let you start off with, talking about the distribution channels and what they look like.
Okay. So once you appoint a distributor who does the registration successfully, and then start to import the products in the UAE, you can say, then the major distribution channel, if you say it is in the retail market, is divided into four different parts. So the major contribution comes from pharmacies. So 60% of the nutraceuticals are sold in pharmacies. Then comes nutrition stores, which are around 15 to 20%. Then comes the health food stores, which are 10 to 15%. And then comes the supermarket and hypermarkets, which are the rest of the stuff. Supermarkets and hypermarket recently have come in the last couple of years. So the major, if you see, the contributor is pharmacies, and all the major pharmacy chain comes in over here. We have international chains from UK, Boots, and we have Life Pharmacy, we have Esther Pharmacies, Bincinas. All of these are having over 150, 200 stores across UAE, and then you have small chains or medium-sized chains with 35 to 50 stores, and then you have nutrition stores like Holland and Barrett, and GNC from US, and other nutrition stores. They are available. Mostly the sales comes from the shopping malls, so where high traffic comes in. So all the pharmacies as well as nutrition stores, they are available in very close proximity in the shopping malls. On street side, you will find only the pharmacies which are 24 hours, as well as close to the hospitals and all. But the distribution is pretty well to these major channel of distribution. So and then comes your hypermarkets, like you can say Carrefour, Lulu hypermarket, Spinneys as a supermarkets, these kinds of stores, where again these products are available, vitamin supplements, or sports nutrition. Then the last comes the your convenience stores in the whole distribution channel, which are your stores next to the petrol stations, small retail stores where you can find protein bars, organic bars, granola bars, these kinds of healthy snacks. It can be available over there.
So is there any restrictions for, so all these channels we're talking about now, they all require the same, registration to be sold in, right? Because I know in some markets like China, there's certain parts of the channel that are only available if you have, say, like an OTC registration, or you've got a special registration to be sold in that channel, like the healthcare or something like that. So I just popped in my mind. Is there actually, besides the pharmacy channel, is there a kind of hospital channel? Do hospitals, sell supplements to patients
Mhm.
if a patient needs more calcium or needs more, folic acid for a lady that's pregnant or something like that?
Yeah, so there is a tender business which happens through all these hospitals, government hospitals. So all the government hospitals, they float tender on annual basis or quarterly basis, and the local distributors, they can go for these tenders. They can bid for these
Okay.
products. So basically, like you have prenatal vitamin C, calcium, iron, folic acid, these kinds of products which are given out to in these tenders.
Okay.
These are mostly for the nationals and the local public. Again, that's a very big business in terms of tender business, you can say, and that's again like can grow very well for certain brands.
All right. Now, earlier in the, I think the first episode, we just touched very quickly, but it seems, would Dubai be considered the kind of hub for the whole area? I mean, in terms of, does a company need to, find a distributor for each one of these 6 countries? And again, of the GCC, or if they found a distributor that they partnered with in Dubai, that person can go ahead and they can cover these regions. They don't need to find, a whole bunch of different distributors.
Basically, like Dubai is a gateway to the whole Middle Eastern countries,
Mhm.
because all the neighboring countries are like 45 minutes or 1 hour flight. Um, but yeah, so once you appoint a distributor in Dubai, and the products are available in the whole UAE market, so there is a lot of traveling happens. People see your products in all the shopping malls, all the retail stores. Then you get inquiries. You also participate in various trade shows in the region. Okay, and you can appoint like different distributors in different countries based on the requirements as such. So, but again, there may not be one company who can sell it in all the 6 countries actually. So you may have to appoint, because everybody is having their own strength and weaknesses. So you can pick up a country based in Kuwait, who's very well, having a very good distribution in Kuwait. So those kinds of things can be worked it out.
Okay, so it'd be good for companies to kind of keep their mind open and just don't give the whole region away to one company.
Yes, yes. And online is pretty much popular. So you have cross-border, imports also. So Amazon, which is based over here in Dubai, keep shipping around the region as such. So anybody who is buying it from Kuwait or Bahrain, they can just place an order, and they just need to pay the logistics fees and the import duty. That's it.
Okay, so your pie chart, we kind of broke down the what we'd call like the offline or the brick and mortar sector,
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
terms of sales. Um, what about e-commerce and then the greater kind of cross border, like you just mentioned, Amazon is operating there, um,
Yeah.
and other domestic or Amazon obviously is international, but is there any domestic websites, and what part of the market do you think that takes up? What if we look at the whole online offline pie chart in terms of distribution? Does anyone have a good handle on how much how powerful e-commerce and cross-border is in the region?
Yeah, so online has grown up very well, during the COVID and post-COVID, and I'm sure, like in the coming months, it will grow further. Amazon is there. Then we have regional players available over here. Noon.com. We have Sporter, basically for sports nutrition and vitamins. Again for the whole region. There are a lot of different new websites which have come in the last couple of years or so. They have been doing very well in the market, and we see there is a growth in the e-commerce in the coming years. But yeah, if you see the overall picture, it may be like maybe like 5-10% of the total business for vitamins actually.
And I would
But
imagine,
yeah, there is, sorry.
I know, I would imagine that the earlier you mentioned some of the big pharmacy channels and stuff. They probably have they have their own websites in the market.
Yes, they have their own websites, and they are pushing a lot uh, to sell more and more online also. So I'm sure, they can't escape from the online platform. If
Hmm.
they are very popular in the offline, they have to come up for the online and grow in the online platform also.
Okay. And then there's some, we talked about earlier about some of the special promotions
Yeah.
that happen. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have different retail promotions across the year. So starting from December, January, when you have Christmas and New Year, we have Dubai Shopping Festival, which is, I think, started in mid 90s and still continuing every year. And it is a very successful event where the whole retail market in Dubai is giving out a lot of promotions. So that is one of the biggest promotion of the year. Then we have Dubai Summer Surprises, which happens during the summertime, peak time. That happens. Then we have Back to School, which is generally in the September. So we have 3-4 promotions calen- in a calendar year, which keeps the consumer buying the stuff.
Okay. And is there like a Black Friday, or China has
Yes,
quite a few. Like
yes,
November 11th is coming up in China, is the big
yeah.
e-commerce sales for Tmall and whatnot. So is there something like that?
Yeah, so we have Singles Day also, which is 11/11. So
Oh, okay.
all the online players, they have 11/11. Then we have Yellow Friday, we have Black Friday. So we have online sales, online sales for a week, not only for a single day, but the entire week we have a good sales promotion.
For the distributors, like let's say e-commerce, are they different entities from the offline distributors? For example, like in China, there's the offline importers. They were very savvy and good at that, have all the right connections. But then when e-commerce, the cross-border came around, it was such a new thing, and you had to be IT savvy to really be able to handle that. So if you're entering the market and you're looking at offline and online, are you going to be working with different people, or some of these distributors they can do both?
No, you can have one distributor. So there is a one exclusive distributor who will sell it to the offline as well as to the online players. So
Okay.
whether it can be Amazon's platform, marketplace, or it can be any of the marketplace, or any other online stores. He can sell it to offline and online both, because regulation is very important. So the distributor who registered the product in the UAE can only import the products in the UAE.
Okay. So in this case, then
Hmm.
we mentioned before, but you're kind of stuck with whoever you decide to partner, whoever registers the product in China, or not China, whoever registers the product in the region is going to be
Yeah.
your exclusive importer.
Ye- yes, yes, yes.
And then
That's very important.
but then if you wanted other distributors, you're going to have to work out a deal with this entity.
Yeah, because the market is not so big, or the region is not, or each of these individual countries are not so big that you can have multiple distributors. It's pretty much like very small, like market. So if you have one distributor, one importer, he can easily supply to all the retailers actually. So he's having a distribution to the pharmacies, nutrition stores, supermarket, hypermarkets, and to the convenience stores. And he does online distribution also.
Okay, so if you did, let's say you went over there and you went to a show, an
Hmm.
expo, and you're walking around and you found this one pharmacy group that's got a decent pharmacy chain, let's say like you had mentioned
Hmm.
before, like Kuwait or something, and
Yeah.
they wanted to work with you, but you're already working with a kind of a master importer distributor. You would have to make sure that they connect with each other and make sure that business happens, right?
Yes, yes, that's important actually.
Okay. All right, well, I think we'll wrap it up for that segment. This is our third part in this series. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below or contact me directly at the association, and we'll get some answers for you. Again, Deepak, thank you very much for your time and all your great insights about
My pleasure, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
And I hope to see you after COVID is a memory. I hope
oh yes
we can get this international travel and going again, and I hope to see you at some of the shows.
Same here. Thanks.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to HPA Global Insights. Please like, subscribe, and share with your colleagues. Any questions or suggestions, email us at info@uschinahpa.org. This channel is operated by US China Health Products Association, which is a nonprofit organization. Please consider joining the association and supporting its global endeavors. Your support is very much appreciated. Until next time, take care.